I have wanted to make a series explaining Football Manager and walking through how to play it and how to enjoy it for years. My issue was I didn't know how to start the series, but it finally dawned on me, and we're not going to even open Football Manager for this video. This video is going to be talking about how to approach Football Manager because I owned it for a year before even opening it because I had a severe misunderstanding of what was waiting for me after clicking the start button. I also come from a place where Football Manager is not incredibly well marketed and understood, and that's part of the reason why I didn't know what I was getting into. The United States, if you hadn't picked the accent already, and there are a lot of other places in the world where that is the same condition, and there's just no cultural milieu or an understanding about the game. I found Football Manager because of luck. I got dumb lucky. My friend happened to hear about the game, and I simultaneously was becoming increasingly dissatisfied with FIFA career mode because it wasn't deep enough, and I was getting older, and I needed more of a challenge, and I didn't know where to go. He tells me about the game. I am then convinced to buy it, and I buy it, and it just sits there. Because I know what it is, and I can't bring myself to start learning. It's a detail game. It's a spreadsheet game. It's a game that requires analyzing and thinking and the managing of a bunch of different facets, and that can be completely overwhelming when you step in without knowing what's happening. But I think a huge mistake that can be made based off of the style of the game, the emphasis is on spreadsheet staring and analytics. The game is all about the experience and the stories and the emotions of the journey. That's the part that I didn't know. Video games exist because we want to exist in a different world. We create a different world, exist in it, be something that we aren't here. Now, I love my job. I love my life, but Football Manager gave me something that I could never have, could never do. I'm never going to be the coach of Barcelona. I can say that with incredible confidence. But in Football Manager, I can take control of arguably the biggest club in the world and run it for 20 years and bring players through my academy and form these bonds with them and share them with my subscribers and my viewers and just have these incredible experiences rooting for these people that don't exist. If you're watching this video because you're thinking about getting involved in the game, you're thinking about playing the game, you're dissatisfied with FIFA career mode, or you're dissatisfied with some other management game, or you've never tried any of them and now you want to try this, do it, because it goes beyond the numbers. Actually, it's impossible to go all the way into the numbers because Sports Interactive does a wonderful thing. I think it's a wonderful thing. They hide the match engine. So there is no way to crunch the numbers and figure out what the best tactic is, where the best players are, because no player is perfect. Add to the fact that it can run on glorified toasters of computers. It just needs a lot of processing power or a lot of time to process. But if you only load a few leagues, you can essentially play the game on your iPad. You actually can. It's called FM Touch. This is not something I'm endorsing strictly, but I got into the game by playing it in class, in college. I would just play it during the lecture, and I had to turn the settings down so that my computer didn't run so hot that you could hear it all through the lecture hall. But you just play it. I play it while watching TV, play it then, play it then, play it then, and then all of a sudden I've sunk thousands of hours into the game. I've won these trophies and had these crazy experiences. I have the experience of my girlfriend walking in and trying to figure out why I'm incredibly upset because I'm blowing a spot in European places in the Premier League with West Ham. A very traumatizing experience, actually. If you're from the United States, this is just not something you know, or somewhere else where the game is not marketed very well or isn't played a lot, because this isn't like any other game. There's a staff responsibility section that can take away essentially any aspect of the game that you don't want to deal with personally, or you don't want to learn yet. You don't want to say you don't want to deal with scouting at all. You can staff responsibility it away. There's a great tutorial now that they've put in the game that makes it easier to get into it. But if you invest that time, pick random clubs, do random things, come up with challenges, this game can eat up more time than any other video game I have ever run into. If you love sports, if you love drama, if you love the stories in sports, Football Manager can replicate that better than any other game I have ever played, and I have worked in sports my entire life, so trust me, I have tried them all. Football Manager just has a depth that cannot be matched, and you can play forever. You can go 1,000 years into the future just to see who wins the World Cup every 4 years. I had the United States win the 2018 World Cup. That was cool. It's never gonna happen in real life, or at least not while I still have no gray in my hair. So that was just a funny thing to experience, and that's the potential in the future that you have in this game. I hope this helps you make the decision on whether you want to play it or not, and I look forward to making more basic tutorials that I would have wanted to see when I was just getting into the game to try and help you along so that you don't have to put everything on staff responsibilities. Deuces!